Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lore and More here on the Just Shelve It channel. I'm Jesse Arnold, and this new segment, this new show, this new short series is going to be focusing focusing on the lore and story of the Mythic Legions figures, and it'll be my version of a review of the figure. There are so many great reviewers out there that give you breakdowns on the articulation and posing and popping and swapping and all these other great things. But I love these figures. I love all those things, but I love the story. I love the lore of Mythic Legions and Mythos and where these characters have come from, where they're going, what's coming next. So we're going to start with the All-Star 6 wave, which I just received. And so this is many waves into the line. And in between new waves coming in, I might go back and do some of these on older figures and characters just to kind of flesh out the whole lore. Now, all of the information I'm bringing to you that is official, it comes from sourcehorseman.com. So if you want to check all this stuff out on your own and go read it at your own leisure, you can do that. It has it broken down by factions. It has it broken down by waves. There's a lot of different ways to take all of this in. But for here on this channel, I'm going to do it figure by figure within the waves as they're new. And then, like I said, I'll go back and do some other ones to fill in the gap or just characters I really want to talk about. So tonight we're starting with All-Star 6, and I'm going to go roughly alphabetical through these with maybe some tweaks here and there. But today, whatever time it is you're watching, first of all, thank you for being here. Like I said, I know there's a lot of other great reviewers out there that have their full reviews. You're not going to get a full articulation breakdown here. It's not going to be that in-depth into the figure itself. It can be more based on the lore. Now, we are limited currently to what short stories and things they've put on the website and what comes on the bios for the characters, the information card on the packaging, which is, again, the same information on sourcehorseman.com. So tonight we're going to jump right into, there we go, Berodach, the ogre scale figure in the wave. So let's just jump right into this. So All-Star 6, we're going to start right here with Berodach. You can see I have the rest of them laid out kind of in the order I'm going to go through here. And obviously with accessories and weapons packs and things like that, I won't really do a whole lot of lore, but I might do a quick breakdown on just some of the things you can do with those down the road, or some of the older, a lot of the older Legion builders didn't have bios, but we're going to start with the bio information right with the characters. So here we go into Berodach. He is part of the congregation of Necronominus, hence the Necronominus logo up in the top corner. The toy details is he was released in part of All-Star 6. Accessories include ogre scale sword and shield, 2 sets of bracers, no additional heads. Now, some of the cool things about this, yes, the weapons are reused, but it is a newer ogre weapon. I think we just first saw it with Arakagor that just came out last year, and with the Stavros from Big Bad Toy Store, the 2 Dragosir figures. But it's a really cool sword. And he's got 2 sets of bracers, so he can have the ogre style bracers with the big horns and like tusk things coming off, or the more smoother, fully knight looking bracers as well. And for character details, like I said, he is part of the congregation of Necronominus. His race is listed as unknown. Now, most of Necronominus are skeletons or some form of undead. This we don't know for Berodach. And his role within the congregation is Warden to Lord of Death. And the Lord of Death being Necronominus himself. All right, his biography reads: the towering presence known as Berodach emerges from banishment along with his twin, the Beastmaster Belualith, the youngest of Necronominus' children. The twins are always by his side. Berodach serves as a warden to his father, and he is ready to destroy any who would who would dare to stand against his family or their teachings. Finally reunited, the 6 children of Necronominus once again walk in the realm of mythos. I should have read that a couple times through beforehand. Apologies. And maybe I need to use a bigger font. So yeah, so he and Beluilith, as far as the story goes, so the introduction of this character is at the end, or not the end, but at the beginning of the Second War, where the Dark Four are coming back into the land of mythos, and both Beluilith, who was part of the Necronominus wave, and Berodach, they're twins. They're the youngest of the children, and they were also banished with him. And we know there were 3 were left behind previously, but we'll get into that in a minute. So here we go. Here is the Necronominus family tree as we have it. We don't know if there is a mother, but we know Necronominus is the father. And to what regards as children, we don't know if these were people he just took in, kind of like Thanos, and he calls the children of Necronominus, or if they are somehow biologically related, since skeleton is listed as a race or species. So we're not fully sure, but we do have a few other figures here. One we'll be getting to further down in these reviews, and that's Thrasis, Morgulith, Mandibulus, Malleus, Beluilith, and Berodach himself. Now, Morgulith, Mandibulus, and Malleus were all left behind at the end of the First Great War, and had been working on rebuilding the congregation of Necronominus in their father's absence. So when it talks about the 6 children being reunited, is because Thrasis, Beluilith, and Berodach were banished or exiled along with Necronominus at the end of that first war. So this is the first time. So it's a big family reunion for all of our dead baddies here, or undead, if you will. Just some quick shots just to kind of show off the figure itself. Thought I had gotten more pictures, so I apologize for not great stuff there. But hey, first time I'm learning how to do this one. It's an imposing figure. He is, like I said, one of the brute scale figures, so he's, I believe, somewhere between like 9 and 10 inches tall, with all of the decoration on his collar piece and his helmet. And here's a shot. Now, since the bio says that he and Beluilith are always near their father, I thought I'd get the 3 of them together with her chimera and her pets. She is the Beastmaster, and you can see how big Berodach stands there, right next to Necronominus. Almost rising to the same height of him, mounted on Conibus, the skeletal horse. And let's see what else got. I thought I'd do a little glamour shots, family style photo album here with Beluilith and Berodach. And then, that's it for the lore we have at the moment for this figure and these characters. Now, I could get in and read the Beluilith story, but I'll leave that for another review and another day. So yeah, he is a really fun figure. And if you notice in those pictures, he has a cape. That wired cape does not come with the figure. That is from Darla Ackerman of Art by Ackerman. And I've had this cape waiting in my soft goods drawer for a year and a half almost for this figure to come in. But here you can see Berodach is a great figure. So far, no falling. I got him balanced pretty good. Joints are pretty tight. Like I said, a few only real complaints I have about this particular figure is this shield. While it is awesome design, I love the look of it. These tusks tend to pop off from time to time if your room gets warm, or if you bump them wrong. There's a little sticky tack or something on there, or if you want to go the brave route and use super glue or something like that more permanent, you can. But I do like the different coloration on the shield. Again, the sword, it is painted differently than the ones that come with the other 2 figures that have that sword so far. The horns are removable, so on the helmet. So if you wanted to pop those out and put on some of the different ogre scale helmet horns, you could. His collar piece does remove. The pauldrons remove. Like I said, you've got these gauntlets here. You could have the different set of bracers where this has the spikes. But I really like this dark gray gunmetal overall tone to him. The accents and the gold are really great, or the details on the chest and everything here. I'll go back to that picture. I think you can see it a little better there. Yeah, so like the details on his chest plate are really cool, with the the skull and the bones and the wings. There's just a lot of elements in this, and all the stuff on the back of his collar. I did not get a picture of that. I think are just absolutely gorgeous. My camera in this review are not going to do the details on this guy justice, but there's one of those horns popping off. That's what the other reviewers are for. So like I said, just wanted to keep this short, sweet, to the point on the story here. So Berodach, again, he is the Warden to the Lord of Death, which is his father, Necronominus. So Warden, so he's their, massive bodyguard. If anyone tries to come against his father or the teachings of their family, the congregation of Necronominus has a very kind of religious vibe to them. It's a very antithesis faction to the Order of Etheron, which is one of the heroic factions, that also has a very religious tone to this. But with the congregation, and I believe some of the other siblings are maybe high priest or something to that effect. Again, I should just pull up Source Horseman and have all the stuff right at my fingertips while I'm talking to you guys. So again, that is sourcehorseman.com. You can check that out right there. And let's see here. Factions and characters. You scroll down to Congregation of Necronominus is described as a group of soldiers guided by their faith in their dark god Necronominus. Highly ordered and single-minded, they are an effective and deadly force. You see, Brother Mandibulus is listed as a warlord. Belualith is Beastmaster. So let's get back to the family slide here. Nope. Where'd it go? There it is. So, all right. So Thrasis is the first risen. Again, he's part of the All-Star 6 wave, so I'll be getting to him shortly, but he is listed as the Archgeneral of the congregation. Then we've got Morgulith, who was one of the 3 that was left behind. She's listed as the High Priestess. I'll read her biography. The High Priestess and leader of the Congregation of Necronominus, Morgulith rules with a resigned coldness reflected in her faction's deadly efficiency. Less savage than her brothers Malleus and Mandibulus, her ability to see through the eyes of her dead soldiers keeps her perpetually aware of her army's actions. Truly believing that the moment has arrived for her father Necronominus' return, Morgulith is readying her faction for a new era of evil. Malleus is listed as the emissary of Necronominus. As one of the 3 remaining children of Necronominus himself, Malleus is true underworld royalty. Serving as the ear of Necronominus until his father's return, he serves as judge, jury, and executioner to any who pose a threat to his father's teachings. A deeply devout follower of his father's word in scripture, Malleus quickly dispatches those who diverge from the path that has been chosen for his congregation. Brother Mandibulus, he is the warlord. Mandibulus, the most vocal and visible of Necronominus' 3 remaining children, often springing into action on his sister Morgulith's behalf. His aggressive ruthlessness is terrifying to behold. While his brother Malleus is obsessed with the preservation of their father's teachings, and his sister Morgulith is focused on leading their faction, Mandibulus' sights are set on the complete slaughter of all who oppose his family and their disciples. So those were the 3 that were left behind. And here we'll go with Belualith, the Beastmaster. Now, she is listed as a ghoul, while the others are all listed as skeletons, except for Berodach, which is listed as unknown. Belualith, when Necronominus was recalled to Mythos, he did not return alone. Loyal acolytes of the Lord of Death, who had been banished with him after the First Great War, returned as well, including the ghoulish child of Necronominus named Beluilith, a beastmaster who commands a skeletal chimera, the Legion of Tuperculi, as well as other unnatural monsters that have been seen in Mythos. Not seen in Mythos since the First Age. She resumes her role as one of the generals in her father's undead army. So she is also a general in the army. And again, Berodach, the towering presence known as Berodach, emerges from banishment along with his twin, Beastmaster Beluilith. The youngest of Necronominus' children, the twins are always by his side. Berodach serves as a warden to his father, and he is ready to destroy any who dare stand against his family or their teachings. Finally reunited, the 6 children of Necronominus once again walk in the realm of Mythos. So that is a terrifying family. So you've got Necronominus, who's essentially the god of death. His oldest, Thrasus the First Risen, is the arch general. Morgulith is the high priest. Mandibulus is the warlord. Malleus is the emissary. Beluilith, beastmaster and a general, and Berodach is the warden. So I'm imagining she is commanding the army that stays right around Necronominus, while the other leaders take the armies further out. But we shall see. There, at the time of this recording, there is a book in the works, a novel / art book to go through the story of, I believe it is to go up through the Second Great War and the Return of the Dark Four, I think is what it's technically called. Or the Rise of the Dark, I don't remember. But that book will be coming, and I'm sure we'll get a lot more information and details on all of these characters and so many other ones when that book comes out. And you guarantee you, as soon as that book comes in, I will be spending as much time as possible reading it and doing some breakdowns on that. So that will be a little, I mean, depending if you're going to read the book or not, it will be spoiler filled. But these reviews here on Lore and More are mostly going to focus on just the characters as they are, the connections that are named in their bios to other characters, or in this case, because he's part of the Children of Necronominus, I dove into all 6 of the children and Necronominus himself. I'll save a full review for Necronominus and Conibus for another day. But again, great ogre scale figure. Like I said, between 9 and 10 inches tall. Awesome art by Ackerman Darla Cape with this black and metallic purple. Articulation is great. He's sturdy. I love the soft goods on his loin piece that come with the figure. You know, he's a great figure. So check out your local retailers that sell 4 Horsemen product. See if they have him in stock, or if you can make it to any of the shows that the Horsemen get, they might have some. Since these are all now at official street date, you know, just keep your eye out for your inboxes if you have them on pre-order, or, you know, see if you can go track them down and find them. But that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for coming along. This went a little bit longer than I meant. I think I've worked out some details. I'm not going to spend the time doing like over elaborate editing on these, so you're going to get a little more rough and tumble review from me. But I think it's a great figure. It's an awesome character. I cannot wait to get that book to have more to elaborate on these characters. But he's really fun. I think he is a great presence on the shelf with the rest of the congregation, towering above most of the other characters. The only other characters I have near his height is Necronominus himself on Conibus, and I do have my Shadow Equidron ogre scale figure with my congregation of Necronominus. So another ogre scale figure over there with them. So anyway, thank you for joining me here on Lore and More. My name is Jesse. Feel free to check back for more. I'll be posting more All-Star 6 in the days and weeks to come. That's it for tonight, I guess, and keep exploring.